everything. Um, market's up here pre-market. So obviously PPI was good, but I'll get into all this stuff in about 1 or 2 minutes just to let you guys come in. Then we'll get started. But yeah, pretty excited for this morning. I mean, there's just a lot of opportunities for, at least one of these setups to happen. It is Thursday, so I'm not going to be looking to just, machine gun trade and just try to take, 5, 6 different trades. If I can catch one really good one, I'll be done. If I can catch two, that'd be great. But like I said, and I'll repeat this again once more people are in here, market's strong, and a lot of these setups are going to be the same principles, basically the same kind of setup. So I think Amazon will be my top watch, and then Google will be my second, and then Microsoft and Meta, which I like more because I think they'll pay more, just aren't really close enough yet. But I'm gonna have to be all over it. I'm gonna have to watch all 4 pretty closely, and then have to gauge which one to trade and which contract to pick as well. So I don't want to be jumping around to all 4 at the same time, because one, that's going to be tough on y'all to pick the right contract, get it loaded up, listen to me, and get in. I can do that pretty quickly, but there's just no reason to focus on a bunch of things. If off the open, I'll kind of be able to tell which one's ready, and then I'm just going to try to really hone in and focus on it and let the other 3 do whatever it wants. So I'm going to wait like 30 more seconds here, then I'm going to get started. If there's any questions to start the day, ask. Any tickers you want me to look at before I get into mine, ask. YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, you guys can ask questions as well. Morning, everybody. What's up? What's up? I do these pre-market reviews so I can make sure everyone's on the same page, and then I swear everyone shows up just right before the market open. But that is what it is. They miss it. They miss it. All right. So I'm going to start with probably the top watch and the one that I think is probably going to happen the quickest. Well, I mean, Google and Amazon, I think, could happen pretty similarly and probably at the same time. I'm more comfortable with Amazon than Google, so I would stick with that. But if Amazon gets weak and Google's the one moving, I'm more than happy to switch, because Google's actually been moving decently clean. So let's just look at contracts really quickly. I bet I'll be trading the 187.50s, maybe the 190s. 190s are just going to be really cheap here. We're only up $2 more. The 190s might be doable. I just, I'm not going to be paying $30 for a contract, so I would just trade the 187.50s and we can be in the money, whatever. So pretty much we have a high here from a couple days ago, 187.88. The all-time high on Amazon is right here, 188.65. So we're up here nicely pre-market with the entire market. Obviously, the same principle is going to apply to every stock, so I'm not going to keep repeating it for every ticker that I show you guys, but we're up pre-market here. For you guys that have been around me long enough, you know exactly what I want to see. If it wants to push a little bit off the open, okay, but I want to see some sort of pullback initially, just because we're gapping up, and then I want to see that bounce, and then we can trade that through the high of day, just because that's going to make things so much safer for us than trying to chase it right off the open. If this wants to just rip off the open, I just won't chase it, because we can easily come up into this resistance, then reject, and then just fall right over and never come back. So I'd rather give it a chance to have its pullback, prove to me that there's buyers still there. So I'm going to look for a breakthrough of this high, and then I will be holding for this all-time high break. I might want to give it room and give it, be patient enough to let this all-time high actually happen. I bet you there's going to be a wall at 188. And then if we can break this here, 190 is doable. Am I going to hold it for, 45 minutes, an hour? No. If I can catch this move here up to into the all-time high, guys, the Thursday, percentage-wise, we're probably going to be up a lot. So there's just, I could let it keep going, but I rather not, especially right now in this market conditions. The continuations aren't ideal. So I rather just kind of scalp it, take the money. If it wants to continue going, it can. Don't care. So Amazon, right, all-time high play through the recent highs. Google, kind of the same thing here. We don't really have a recent high. This is just all-time high here. Not a terrible looking setup. I just think that Amazon looks a little bit better. But, probably going to be looking to play through 158 and then all-time high here, 158.57-ish. That's not technically all-time high because that was just a weird wick after hours. So I'm going to be looking at this one, 57, 158, 57, 56 area. So going to be looking to play through 158 if I do take this trade. I feel like I don't know exactly what contracts I'm going to trade. Haven't looked yet. Again, just really cheap here. The 160s are going to be too cheap for me, but maybe the 157.50s. We'll see. That's just why I'm not really a big fan of Google. So the other two guys that are just a little too far away is Meta. I mean, I've seen Meta run $20 in a day. So, I mean, if it wants to do that, great. We can take this trade. But other than that, I'm just going to be interested to trade around this 530 level. And then Microsoft isn't that far away, but I just think that, it needs a really, it just fell off here pre-market, so I doubt we get it. But I'll be looking at this 430 level to trade through the all-time high again. All-time high is 430.82. So like I said, guys, all these setups are kind of the same. Market's up nice and strong pre-market. Not going to be looking for the downside. We got our Apple downside trade yesterday. It wasn't great simply because, the market didn't really want to continue to the downside after the CPI news. So we kind of whiplashed once again. Whatever, we took our money and we ran. It was perfect. So I doubt Microsoft happens. Meta is kind of a stretch as well. So right now, I think I'd rather everyone just focus on Amazon closely here. Again, I still can't see option prices just yet. So, but I have a feeling we're probably going to have to trade. I think the 190s are doable. They have the most open interest. The 187.50s are fine too. It is Thursday. Or just sells and shorts. None. This is options. Yeah. So again, guys, I'm probably going to go 187.50 calls if I do switch. I just have to see what they're priced at here in a minute and 30 seconds. But the 190s will work as well if you do need cheaper contracts. So going to be looking at those. Again, we had this high here, 187.88. And then going to look for a break of 188, obviously. I think there's probably going to be a wall there as well, ideally. And then, this next orange line up here is going to be all-time highs. So maybe a little push off the open, then a pullback if it wants to pull back right off the open to like 186. I don't want Amazon to really drop that far. If it comes into 185, it's just a stretch to get it all the way back up here. So ideally, 186-ish, and then we can play that, kind of the new high a day through the pre-market high, and then we have this recent high, and then we have 188, and then we have all-time highs. So if we can just get some momentum through these levels, hit some stop losses on people trying to go short, we get a little squeeze here, market stays strong, it'll be a beautiful trade. So 187.50 or 190 calls. Watching Google on the side as well, but I just have a feeling I'm probably not going to trade that. But you guys can watch it as well on the side if you want. Any questions? We have 30 seconds. I know that took a little bit longer than expected, but I want to make all this very clear. Jag, I'm doing good. Doing good. Ready for the weekend. All right. Everyone should be on the same page here. I have the 187.50 calls loaded up for this week. If I switch, I will tell you. I want to see what these 190s are priced at. Yeah, way too cheap for me. Like $45. All right. All right, little pullback here. I do like that. Let's see if it gets bought up strong. I don't want to play a red to green candle here. I want to see this take a minute or two. If we do see a really aggressive red to green candle through this pre-market high, I'll probably take a small position. Obviously, not a full position at all. But if I see that much aggression on the buy side, then I'll consider it. Other than that, let this pull back, kind of base out a little bit. We'll play this new high here right at 187, which is perfect. Then look for this break of pre-market high. Small wall at 187 as well. Already got a pretty decent wall at 188. And we got a wall at 189. So people are already getting orders out there at those levels above us. 187.50 calls are getting the most volume here off the open. That's beautiful. NVDA selling off here. Tesla just like you said, Jag. It's a wrestling match today. All right, so we're right around 186 here on Amazon. I don't want to see it go much further. But, again, the entire market is up here pre-market. So we have to expect some sort of profit taking off the open here. Look at this pullback here. Wow. Yeah, they do have a day, but Theta regardless isn't going to be the best random guy. I don't know what your argument is though. Exactly. IV's only 30%. Market's just kind of tanking right here. Well, yeah, no, I know you're talking about Amazon, but what are you saying that like the 190s would still work? I mean, they're $29 right now. I don't want to have to buy like 50 or 100 contracts. Here we go. Nice bounce here. Let's see if we can get some strength. The market bounced a little bit. Amazon seems to be front running just a tad, so that's perfect here, guys. We have high of the open right about here. Beautiful. All right, so I'm not going to be in right now, but I'm saying I'm going to take a half position right around 187. I want to see this bounce right back up. I mean, the 187.50s, though, random guy aren't expensive, I don't think. But if y'all want to trade the 190s, it's definitely doable. I mean, I don't think that they're bad. They're just a little bit further out of the money. So Amazon being a little bit more of a slow mover, time decay might just eat you a little bit. Tesla moved. Okay, Meta fell back. Google's starting to push here. Google's actually the strongest one here. Google's definitely the strongest one. What do these Google contracts look like, though? 157.50s, $1.12. We'd have to trade those. The 160s are too cheap. It's just kind of the same thing with Amazon here. If Amazon makes a new low a day, I'm going to switch over to Google just because it's the strongest one here. I just like Amazon's setup. Amazon's now weaker than the market here. NVIDIA moved. Where's Microsoft? Nothing. Meta, nothing. Okay. So right now, Google's the strongest one. So like I said this morning, we have 4 of the same setups. Our job now is going to be to basically just try to gauge which one's the best one. So let's see if Amazon makes a new low here. I just like Amazon a lot more. But if we have to go trade Google, we can. Nice little buy up here. At least it's trying to. Like I said, if they give up 186 kind of strong here, I bet you it's just done. Google, it's just kind of hard to chase right into an all-time high without any levels beforehand. That's why I like Amazon. We have pre-market high, we have that recent high from a couple days ago, and then we have all-time high. So it gives us levels to use and gives us earlier entries. Yeah, Tesla's moving. I might have to move on to Google, guys. Google's getting close to 158. What were those exact levels, though? 158.50. Okay, so yeah, Google's really strong for now. I'm gonna keep an eye on Amazon kind of on the side, but let's just switch over here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go 157.50 calls. So that's what I got loaded up for now. Where's Amazon here? Okay, let me just make sure I got that on the side. Google, nice push here, but we're kind of stalling out. So I'm not going to be looking to buy this right into this break. I would like to see it maybe come up here, come back down into 157.50, then give us some sort of like H pattern to trade into. Amazon's starting to bounce here again. Well, instantly rejected. Nice pullback here on Google. Okay, I like that now. So we're coming back into kind of this opening zone here. So let's see if we can hold this, and then I would be okay with playing the high of day. Other than that, I mean, I wasn't going to chase a green candle up into that. So just got to be patient here. We have the setups. We just got to let them actually work. If none of them work, none of them work. But we have specific entries that we want. So there's no reason to do anything that we don't need to. Amazon's still just kind of holding right around 186. And that's, originally what I wanted. Obviously, I wanted it to kind of come down there and bounce within 1 or 2 minutes. We did get a little bit of a bounce. It rolled back over, and now we're just kind of sitting flat there. So it's just a patience game now. NVDA, like a $15 move off the open. Any questions, anyone? Twitter, YouTube, or Twitch, you guys can ask as well. I can see them. All right, so it came right into the zone and we held right at VWAP as well. So I mean, that's one thing that we can check off the list. Again, I have the 157.50 calls loaded up. Market's just rolling over here. But Google, like I said, Google is already pretty strong compared to the market today. And it actually has a positive catalyst behind it the last few days. It looks like it's trying to hold here as the market's rolling over. Chad, we've had Twitch for a little while. Here we go. Google just bounced. If I see some strength into this high of day, I'm probably just going to take a small position, guys. I'm really not a huge fan of this, so it's really just kind of me going to try it. If I can pick up, a couple nickels and dimes on this trade, I will. Amazon to me is better, but we'll see. I'm okay with trying this. Kind of right. I want to see this get over 157.60 with some strength here. The market's just pulling back. So I would love to see an actual bounce on the market as this is pushing, because we can tell that there's already some strength here without futures. But if we're dropping off hard on the market, I'm not going to take this entry. Easy fake out territory. Meta, Microsoft still flat. Okay. No problem there. Look at Google hold up here, guys. This looks pretty good. It's really strong on its own, but it's just not going to be able to do it without the market. See if we can get a little bounce on NQ here. Look at Google hold still. Amazon just dropped off, so that's probably done for the day. All right, Google, what you want? I'm gonna go with the 157.50 calls. Big Worm 2045. Yeah, 157.50 calls. Just waiting for a bounce here. We just got a little wick. Here we go. I want to see some real strength out of the market. I don't want to get in on just a little bounce wick. Let me check the wall here at 158. It's not as big as I would expect, but 30,000 isn't bad. Amazon just going real flat here. I think it maybe just wait for the market. All right, high of day is going to be here. So I'm probably going to be looking to get in right around there. Then we have 157.94 right before that 158 level. And then 158.50 is going to be right around the all-time high. All right, I'm in half position. Got a real bounce on the market, which I like to see. I'm in a half position now. I'll look to add maybe some above 158 if we actually get this move here. If we roll right over, then whatever. Stop loss is going to be right under 157.40. Going to keep it real tight. No reason to let this go anywhere. Yes, 412 expiration. Instant pullback there. It's not what you really want to see. Like I said, 157.40. Under that, I'm going to be out. No reason to give it more room. I'm going to keep the stop real tight here. I'm down 2 cents a contract here, so really nothing. Nice buy up there. We can see the strength on Google. We just need a little bit of bump from the market. I think we're going to be okay. That was the second highest volume. Well, yeah, these two candles are the second highest volume candles of the day. So that's a good sign coming into high of day. That's what I want to see. We're in the money on these contracts as well, so theta shouldn't be that big of an issue. I wanted to see it go right there, though. That was its chance, so I'm a little iffy on this, but we're barely down at all. Let's see if it can just hold up here above 157.50. I have a 120 fill here, so it's pretty good. Little pullback, holding 157.50 so far. I don't want to see the market roll over here because that may just pull this trade down. Again, I'm just going to stop out under 157.40. And then I would look to just get back in this trade. I want to see these bottom side wicks. Everything looks strong here until this candle. There we go. Nice bottom side wick. Let's see if this goes for it here. I want to see this candle go. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Come on. Nice. Let's see this. Let's see this high day get taken out right here, guys. Come on, right here. Let's go check the wall again at 158. I don't like that rejection. It's got to go there. That was its chance. Market rolled over right now, of course. Still about a 30,000 wall sitting there. These contracts could easily get to, 140, 150 here, guys, if we get this real move. So risking 10-ish cents on this isn't a big deal, considering the risk to reward. So why I'm still in a half position, and I'll look to add more on a real breakthrough this. So it's taking a little bit longer than I want, but again, we're in the money on these, so time decay isn't going to kill you. There we go. Still, I mean, look at the strength here. It's just waiting. Look at that beautiful candle there. I want to see volume. All right, new high a day. Come on, Google, keep moving here. These contracts aren't moving the best. You have 8,000 volume on them, though. That's pretty good. That just means that they're going to jump when this thing starts actually moving here. All right, I'm green now. Nice. There's the nice move there. Again, looking for 158 here. I got to give this some room. Market just started bouncing. Google got some strength here. It's been the strongest one all day. Let's see if I can get a limit sell out here, guys. I'm going to see if I can get a one. I'm going to take off maybe half my position at 135 a contract. That's what I think is pretty doable here quickly. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take half off 135 a contract. For you guys that don't do limit very often, practice it here. One more jump up here to 158 and we should hit it. Google's a slow mover, so we got to just let it work. I mean, obviously, I don't want to see that pullback there, but it's, there's nothing about this that's telling me I need to get out right now. Again, 135 limit sell here for half my position. I'm totally fine with that. We'll see if we can get it or not. I don't like that. We are coming up. The market's just super choppy, guys. That's the problem. NQ just can't make a new high. 157.65. So, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, guys, we're about 30 cents away from 158. If we get above 158, it's going to be awesome. Contracts would be about 135, 140. And we got that wall there, so it might actually help it push. Nice buy up there. I switched I switched to the 2-minute chart, by the way, so it looks just a little bit cleaner for us. If y'all want to do that on the side, do it. A little bit easier to watch. That's why I mark out my stops here. All right, I'm green here. Come on, Google. Let's go for it. This is why I don't like to trade Google that often, simply because it's just slow. Contracts don't move that well. But they have great volume. That's the only issue I'm seeing. 10,000 volume on these is, it's not crazy, but it shouldn't be moving this like chunky. Zuma, you got to get on that cash account, my man. Be careful here. Google could easily roll over really aggressively here, so just be careful, please. I'm going to cancel that limit order so I have no problems getting out if I need to. If you have that limit order sitting waiting and you try to sell your other orders, it may give you a pop-up message. So cancel that limit. We can always add it back on here. I think 158's in store. I mean, look at us. We're trying to bounce here as NQ is coming down. Trying to see a little balance on ES as well. I'm green here again. Just kind of break even green. Let's see if we can get another new high. Let's go, Google. Show me what you got. Here we go. Starting to bounce up here again. Let's get above 157.80. NQ trying to bounce, but we're just chop central right now. Google's just kind of waiting for a little move, a little bit of help here. I may even just consider just cutting the trade for a very small loss and just moving on. We can always get another entry. See, I don't like that. We need to hold 157.50 here for me to stay in this. Bounce back above 157.50. I may have to cut this here pretty soon. Nice little buy up. Under 57.40, guys. I'm going to be out. It's losing. All right, I'm out of these. That's too bad. Google just couldn't wait that much longer. You know, that's the only problem here. Yeah, no, that wasn't a bad loss at all, Zuma. Good job. That's why we took a small position, and that's why I had the stop loss pretty tight there. The contracts, I feel like, lost a little bit of value, but, you know, it is what it is. Google just gave up. It couldn't hold up much longer on its own. That was the problem. That was the only problem. I think the trade could still be there, though. I mean, I'm not opposed to maybe playing a new high. Let's see how aggressively they can, you know, buy it up here. Contract's already back to 110. You know, they were about like 130 up here. Well, Zoom, I hate that was your last day trade for the week, but you need to get on a cash account, man. You should call him today. Tesla, whoa. All the way back down. Look at Google getting bought right back up here. This is why I just don't like Google that much. Amazon's a cleaner stock. Amazon, however, actually is starting to move back up here, guys. We might get a little bit of a late morning trade on that. 186.50 here. So we're about 50 cents away from that high of day. Google could easily rip out of this. That's the only thing. I just want to maybe give it one more chance to get back in this or not. Or it could, because the market's ripping here. It's finally starting to move. And now look at the way Google's moving. The buyers just moved on from this. So, you know, for my last lesson on Thursday last week, I talked about time stop losses. When something just takes too long, buyers will move out of the way. They'll just leave. So I think that's what we just saw here. However, Google could rip out of nowhere. Amazon's starting to creep up here, guys. I'm not going to chase like 10 green candles in a row. 11 Central random. Okay, sweet. Thank you. Little pullback here on the market. Market pulled back pretty hard there. Everything did. Look at that. Well, might be time to say goodbye to Google. Amazon, geez, man, I thought we were going to get that. That just pulled back even harder. You know, I still feel like if they hold VWAP and can get it through that downtrend, I mean, there's a chance, but it's just this price action is disgusting now. 2-minute chart flew red. There's just no movement in the overall market. There's just nothing there. Little bounce from Google there. Little bounce from Amazon as well. Yeah, Amazon's starting to move here, guys. I may switch to that actually. It's starting to look decently strong. It's just a little too late. Amazon's one of those stocks where you want it to go early in the morning, and we did not get that. Market wicking on the top side here. Tesla down around 170. If you guys have NQ up on your screen, you can see how just choppy everything is. There's just nothing going on. I'm watching Amazon and Google on my side screen here to see what happens, but just really not ideal price action here. NQ not being our friend. If I see some aggressive, like a real aggressive buy up here on Amazon, I might give it a shot. 187.50 calls. We'll see on that though. Because I like this setup more. Market's just going nowhere. Time decay is going to start killing people. Got about a 30,000 wall too at 187. It's not bad. That could kind of kick this thing off. Yeah, Qs are going nowhere. Oh, there goes Google. It's done. Let's see what Amazon has in store for us today, fellas. Amazon is now showing way more strength. Google, you can just tell the buyers moved on. They're just not there anymore. It was by far the strongest one this morning. Everything's chopping around. So when you notice this, you kind of want to be a little bit more standoffish, but Amazon could get going here pretty soon. The thing is, though, we got that big gap up this morning on the Qs, and we really didn't sell off at all. We just were chopping around here. So that could be a good sign for a later morning push. Google's done. That's done for. Meta tried getting bought up. Microsoft's done. So Amazon's kind of the only thing I'm going to be watching here. 187.50 calls. Let's see. Once again, just chop, chop, chop. Look at Google, guys. Check this out. Done for. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, I want to just show anyone who's watching in queue. I mean, this is just completely flat price action here. Just nothing. Nothing for us. Looking for kind of a volume candle through 186.80. Amazon's now holding up much stronger. Those Google contracts are down like another 30%. Come on, NQ. See a little bit of strength here. All the strength again, like the same principle for Amazon as Google. If this takes too long, these buyers are just going to move on. Anyone trying to aggressively buy this today is just going to understand that today is not the day it wants to go, and they'll leave, which is going to create an aggressive pullback. So no reason to get in early. Please don't. Even though I'm looking at it, there's just no reason to get in. Look at this. Apple's up way above 168 now. Google just literally died. Those Google contracts from at 70. Now the market's having its pullback. So to me, there's really not any downside setups right now. Apple would be one, but it's too far away. $3, JWAG, not bad. Jeremy Dennis on YouTube. Sorry. NQ is basically QQQ. It's just it's the Nasdaq futures. So I watch that over the Qs, but that's just personal preference. They're both the same thing. Yeah, a bit more work, JWAG. Well, I don't want to call it too early, but right now Google's like at low a day, so that's out of the equation now. NQ is at low of day. Amazon is one of the only ones that I'm seeing hold up here once again. But maybe today it holds up. It doesn't make its move, and then tomorrow we can actually get a real move out of it. I don't know. Tesla got murked under 170 now. Here we go. Look at Amazon. One little green candle on NQ, and you can see Amazon starting to get aggressive. Again, I don't really want to get in too early on this just because the real levels are all the way up here. But honestly, I just don't want to be holding something for a long time. But a decent early entry on this with a very small starter position would kind of be right here around 168.80, and 187. Just because there is a wall at 187 that could kind of help kick this off. And then, but again, that's still a dollar move for 188 and then another 65 cents for all-time high. So that's why I want that. I want this trade early on in the day when there's high volume. When they're already past, 30, 35 minutes in, volume is going to be just, lower regardless, unless there's, some sort of crazy squeeze here that we could catch. But That's kind of your own personal preference. If you have the capital to take early entries like that with starters, and you could, you're okay with small losses, not going to affect you, then maybe it's something you could do. But I don't even know if I'm going to do it. So we'll see. Amazon's starting to get weak here again. But, obviously, if you don't understand that it's a choppy day and on futures, then I don't know what you're looking at. Pre-market was great. We're just not seeing any continuation on the strength from the PPI data. So, like I said, a pullback is usually what happens. We didn't really get it off the open that aggressively. So now maybe they're going to do it late morning here, and it's going to pull all of our stocks away from our levels. Then we really have nothing to trade. Google kind of bouncing off lows. Amazon just trying to do anything it can to hold up here, but it'll be easy to tell if this is ready to go. It could get to the 186.80, 187 level, but if it's slow and choppy, there's no reason to be there. All right, Zuma, take care, man. Get your cash account. NQ about to go for a low a day here. ES still making lows. So ES is weaker here than the NASDAQ. Amazon getting pulled back down. Google's actually starting to hold up a bit, but way too far away. Well, while we're waiting, I do have another ETF for you guys. Let's see here. Let's see if I can switch my screen. So this ETF here, let me make sure it's on the recording as well. All right, so this ETF here is TSLR. So just like yesterday when we talked about the FBL, the two-time leveraged meta ETF, this is the same thing here. It's just for Tesla. So it's a 2 times long Tesla ETF, meaning that if Tesla moves 1%, this is going to move 2%, right? Right now, the price is around 11 bucks, $11.50. I'll look at the chart here in a second, but just so you guys can see this. Obviously, just like the other one, there's no guarantee, but the idea of this is to be around a two times leveraged stock. So, if you don't have enough money to buy Tesla shares, you can then buy TSLR for much, much cheaper, 10% roughly of what Tesla costs. Let's look at performance here. So 1 month TSLR is up 4%. And let's see here, where's the in the benchmark? So Tesla is up 3%. So it's up another 2%. So not completely double, but close. The meta one is FBL. So over 3 months is actually down, but so is Tesla, right? So, but you can see the risks here. If it's a 2 times leveraged stock and Tesla goes down 1%, well, then this is going to be going down 2% or more. So The benchmark, meaning Tesla, over 3 months is down 0.7%, and you can see TSLR is actually down 7% here. So much greater. Since its inception, TSLR is up 1.69%. So meaning kind of once it quote unquote IPO'd, even though it's not really an IPO, it's not a company, it's just a fund. And the benchmarks with Tesla is up 6%. So it actually hasn't performed as good, but Tesla's had a really rough year. You can tell this hasn't even been out for a full year, and obviously not even 3 years. Yes, there's no data there. But over time, when Tesla can actually start moving again, that's when the 2-time leverage is actually going to come back into play, and then you can it'll be worth your while then. But looking down here, there's multiple. There's a 1.25 leveraged TSL. There's a 2-time short Tesla. So maybe you go long Tesla, and you actually want to short it, and then you buy some TSDD. There's an NVIDIA one, NVDL, that's a 2-time one, and then BABA, BABX, the 2-time long BABA. So a bunch of these are out there. You guys can look around for it. But that's pretty much all I got on this. 2-time ETF on Tesla, cheap stock, could be good for anyone that can't really afford to invest in Tesla because of the price. So let's get into the charts. Let's switch my screens here. Cool. All right. So TSLR. It's obviously going to look pretty bad considering how bad Tesla's done. So you can see that the first trading day was August 21st. So that's interesting. So it hasn't been out for that long. Like I said, Tesla, really rough year. So I'm not surprised this is down, but getting this, at $10, $11, Tesla starts moving up again. I mean, you could easily catch 200-300% return if this starts going. Obviously, I think over time, Tesla has a chance to get back up to, $300, $400, $500 a share. That's really going to give you a nice return here on TSLR. So keep that in mind. But that's about it for the ETF. Steve on X, what platform do you trade on? I execute, meaning I buy and sell on Interactive Brokers, and I chart. So the charts that you see here is Thinkorswim. So yeah, I mean, look how rough of a year Tesla's had. And it's just not really showing any signs of bouncing yet. We're just having these little relief bounces here. I do think 150, 140 is doable, but I would start loading up on Tesla around this 140 and 150 level for sure. Longer term. I mean, I'm planning to do it. And the only reason I'm still waiting, and a lot of you guys have probably heard this, we haven't really gotten a solid pullback on the market yet. Once we can see, maybe SPY around 500, that should be enough to bring Tesla down to that 150 and 140 level. That's when I would look to buy longer term. I don't, even though I'm not mad at these prices on Tesla right now for long term, market's been at all-time high and been ripping for 6 months. Tesla hasn't. So if we do fold over, then that's going to give us an even better buying opportunity for Tesla. Yeah, Duco, I agree. I miss Tesla. I mean, Tesla used to be my bread and butter. I could usually find a trade on it, 1, 2, 3 times a week. And now it's just at weird levels. I can't really trade it. So whenever it's moving and breaking out constantly, that's when I like to just be there and catch it over and over and over again, because it moves really clean. Yeah, JWAG, Interactive Brokers is a really great platform, but just like you said, I hate the charting. The charts are disgusting. It's just nowhere close to Thinkorswim. So that's why I'm still using Thinkorswim, and I've used Thinkorswim for over 5 years, and I doubt I change. To me, it has the cleanest charting platform. TradingView is okay, but to me, TradingView is just a little elementary at times. I don't really like it. But I'm also biased because I know how to use Thinkorswim so well. But guys, we're about 45 minutes into the day, and I'm really not loving this at all. Meta at lows. Microsoft got killed, so now that we're going to wait for that again. Netflix. See, look how this is why you can't trade Netflix on a day-to-day basis. I mean, we're seeing gaps on the 1 minute here. Just look how ugly the chart looks. But look at the volume, 2,000, 3,000. I mean, this is like less. This is awful volume. Tesla is going to have over 100,000 volume on every 1 minute candle on the low side. So that's why I don't trade Netflix very often. When I do, it's strictly because there's a really good a chart setup and a catalyst. When there's a catalyst on Netflix, you'll see 50 to 100,000 volume candles. That's when the contract's going to move well. That's when it's actually tradable. On normal days when it's not doing anything, it's almost impossible, and the chances of you making money on it are extremely low. BA, look at that. Made its move under 180 and then 180 at 176. Pretty solid here. Just, again, just not a clean trade. Yesterday, maybe there's a little trade there for us, but other than that, not really a big fan of it. Apple's still kind of hovering right at 168. Yesterday, we did catch a really nice trade on Apple. But it wasn't the day for it to sell off. I mean, look how choppy this was, guys. Just up and down, up and down. You could tell that, on a 1 minute chart, you can see that we're just kind of fighting around 168. But obviously, big time frame here, guys. 168 is a really important level. So even though it's choppy on a 1 minute, on a big time frame, you can just tell that buyers and sellers are fighting for it. So once we can really break that down, and on a bigger time frame, we're starting to get that breakdown on this. That's when it's going to be, you kind of open the floodgates and you get that really aggressive sell-off down to 165 and then maybe even 160 after a day or two. Tesla new low on the day. Amazon under 186, so that's definitely done. We'll just Google making new lows. All right. Well, our upside setups are officially done for today. So I don't really like anything to the downside. There's just nothing that's clean. There's no good levels for us. I would like to see Tesla come back into 160, but we now have $8, $9 to go. I don't think it's going to do that today unless we see some really crazy sell-off. So I got about another 10 minutes here, guys. If there's any questions, please ask. If not, then I'm going to wrap things up here pretty soon. For you premium guys, I have a premium lesson tonight, and it is going to be over. See, last lesson was risk management. Oh, it's going to be a good one. Trading psychology. So emotion management, controlling your fear and greed, developing a disciplined trading routine, handling losses and maintaining a positive mindset, and much, much more. So that's my description on that I have written out. But trading psychology, guys, I think is probably the most important. Anyone can read a chart. Anyone can hit buy and sell. But very few people can actually manage the mental side of trading. So that's where the good traders are. And I think you guys will enjoy it. So I hope you can all make it. It will be recorded, but I would really appreciate you guys actually being there, because you'll get way more out of it than just watching a recording of me. So that's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern time as per usual. Anyone on YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter, there's a lot of you here today. Get in the Discord. But yeah, guys, like I said, any tickers, any questions, ask. If not, I'm gonna wrap things up here any minute. There's nothing else for me. This is the beauty of trading. When your setups aren't there, no trades to be had, you can move on. Go make some breakfast, go get a coffee, go for a drive, do whatever you want. No reason to sit here and stare at the charts. And honestly, I mean, I'll just set some alerts at different prices when I'm away from the desk. I can get the alert on my phone. Okay, stock XYZ is at this price. It's getting close to where I'm interested. Cool, I can hop back on the desk. There's just no reason to sit here because, like I talked about last lesson, and I'll probably mention it a couple times tonight, the longer you sit at the desk, especially for newer traders, the more you're going to want to actually take a trade, the more you're going to feel like you're not doing anything, you're missing out on money, you're not actually working. And really, you are. 90% of trading is waiting. The other 10% is just doing the buying and selling. So don't sit here all day and put yourself into positions where you're going to overtrade and take trades that you don't need to take. It's easier said than done for sure, but I'm to the point where I've made that mistake so many times over the years that I'm already over that hump. So, we had a cash day on Tuesday. I didn't take any trades there. It's okay. And it's whatever. It saved me money. I think the chance of me losing money on Tuesday, right, the day before CPI, were high. So even though I was sitting at the desk, I didn't feel inclined to take a trade. Yeah, Amazon's holding this low, but I mean, seeing this above 188 today, I think is asking a bit too much. But we'll see what happens here. Let's see if we can get a real aggressive bounce. I'll wait for a few minutes on this, but I'd bet a pretty good amount of money that this isn't going to happen today. You'll get these little pops, just like we saw here. Something that's been pushed down, a lot of selling pressure. Buyers push, against those sellers a little bit. You get a little pop, and then it just kind of sells back off like you saw here. So maybe this pops up here, then sells back off. I mean, ideally it pops and rips. Amazon's not a stock to do that midday. Amazon's a stock that's going to do that in the first 15, 20, 30 minutes. If you don't see it then, 9.9 out of 10 times, you're not going to see it the rest of the day. So I'm seeing a lot of contracts getting sold here, actually. I just saw 700 Amazon 187.50 calls get sold. So people are starting to dump these off. Time decay would just kill us. I mean, even, the thing is, even if we can get this move and it just happens really slowly over the course of the entire day, the time decay is just going to eat the contract slowly. So, I mean, stop losses are going to be worse. That means, you're going to need an even bigger move to make money. And, even if it slowly grinds up, maybe you're up a little bit, you get one aggressive pullback, contracts, and the bid is just going to fall out of those contracts. And then, you could be red in 1 minute after, waiting and being in the green for 30 minutes. That's the only problem. So yeah, we're already rolling right back over here. Just like I said, one little red candle on NQ, and you see how quickly that just dies. Choppy day. Amazon totally flat here. PNW sold off a little bit. ES and NQ, well, I don't know about NQ, but ES at least gave up the entire PPI move. Let me just show you all what I'm talking about so you understand it. Come on, there we go. So looking here, this was pre-market, right? Pre-market, right at 9 or 8:30 Eastern time. You got the PPI news, which started right around 51.80. RIP, market opened here. And now we've sold off almost all the way down. We almost touched right where PPI started. So we just, once again, guys, I hope you're noticing this without me telling you. A lot of these gap ups pre-market are getting sold off after the market opens. A lot of the gap downs end up getting bought up. So it's kind of weird. I want to see continuation the same way because that lines up with my trading style. When I'm not seeing continuation, on a gap up on ES, and then, we don't see that move, continue higher, that's going to mess up my trades. So that's just the environment we're in right now. I have to be a little bit more careful. That's why on Apple, whenever we actually saw the gap down yesterday and the market kind of went flat, but Apple had that weakness, we ended up being able to get the trade, but it wasn't, the full aggressive slip sell off that I wanted to see. But why? We got the gap down, the market ended up trying to get bought back up. Yeah, Snowflake, 100%. You guys on Discord, read that. I talked about yesterday, there's always, quote unquote opportunities to make money in the market, but are there really trades there? Rather than going to try to chase these opportunities, just position yourself to catch an opportunity rather than trying to run and go hunting for a trade. You got to be like kind of a fisherman, sit back and let them come to you. Snowflake is the GOAT. Speaking of Snowflake, what is Snowflake doing? Nothing. That's a crazy short. All right, guys. Well, I got about 1 more minute here. Ask your last questions. If not, then I'll see you tonight for the the trading psychology lesson. Amazon just kind of chilling. I'll leave my charts up just in case something does happen, but it's just too late in the day, guys. There's just nothing going on. Can you trade ETF options? Yeah, you can. You can trade options on SPY and the Qs. However, on like the 2-time leveraged ones I was talking about, the options are there, but they're just terrible. I wouldn't even, I wouldn't get close to those. Yeah, Snail Cat is exactly right. Well, guys, I guess that's it for me. I don't see any other questions. So, kind of a boring day. Very unfortunate that Google trade didn't work out, but that's just why I don't really like Google. It looked really good for a while, and then the overall market was choppy, and the buyers just said, "Screw this, I'm gone." So that's what happens. It's JWAG. It's going to be in the coaching group tonight. All the premium lessons now, I think, are in the coaching groups. So I hope to see you there. Well, guys, that's going to be it for me. Y'all have a good rest of the day, and I will see y'all tonight.